My name is BlueHead. This is the 11th installment in a series of installments that constitute my entire campaign as the independent candidate running for the presidency of the United States in November 2012. I still haven't posted installment number 10, and the reason is it's a hallmark installment in a series of installments that constitute my entire campaign, and it's a little longer, has more recitation, but it certainly and most importantly lays out the BlueHead platform for the presidency and a vision for the direction of the country. Before you can have a direction, you have to have a destination. Well, the United States doesn't have a hard destination, of course, and we would like to think it would continue in perpetuity and just improve as a society in greatness and in humanity. We would like to think that we evolve as a society and as a species and as a country on this planet. We know that there are physical boundaries that constrain planet Earth, and we occupy this place. And whatever places there may be out there, I'm not saying there are or aren't, that's what I hope for here, is the continuous improvement for all humanity. But right now, my concern is the United States. And I haven't made a comment with respect to the vice presidential debates that were held just a couple nights ago. Even though this is installment number 11, I really should be on 14. And again, because the resources I have to work with are limited, I'm not a computer wizard. I guess I'm very computer literate, naturally, but I can't do magic with graphics. I can't draw stick figures. So, in spite of all of these shortcomings on my end, I do have very specific talents needed to do what we need to do to get this country steering in the right direction. And steering is an important word. Right? You can't get moving forward, you can't create forward inertia or momentum until you're pointed in the right direction, and we're not. And that leads me to the vice presidential debate. I'm going to comment mostly about Paul Ryan. I found his points salient, and how can you not believe this guy? Okay, he says America and apple pie. That's what he says. Mitt Romney, also incredible performance in his debate against Barack Obama. Barack Obama and Joe Biden, for better or for worse, they are our executive branch. They are currently at the helm of this great ship. We need to get them off the helm, because for 4 years now, or close to it, we've been sailing in the wrong direction. But Paul Ryan, as the vice president and potential heartbeat away, to coin a cliche, from the presidency, it wouldn't be my choice. It wouldn't be my choice. And there's only one reason for that. I know I could become best friends with this man, or close to it, but we see eye to eye on a lot of things. There's no fire in his eye. And right now we need strong, direct, and purposeful leadership from both the president and the vice president. Now, Senator Biden has been the village idiot, in my view, for a long time. His reputation precedes him. That he was selected for the vice presidency is remarkable, in my opinion. But the fact that he embarrasses me as an American citizen when he says virtually anything is the point I'm trying to make. I'm sure his intentions are good. I know he's had some personal issues, which I don't really care about. But he behaved like an absolute imbecile. And what I didn't like about Paul Ryan is that he didn't say, hey, with all due respect, Senator Biden, Vice President Biden, excuse me. What do you find so funny about the deaths of 4 American champions in Benghazi? What do you find funny about thermonuclear war with Iran? And why are you cackling like a hyena? I wouldn't use any other words. And I would also say, please use some decorum. And at least pretend you're vice presidential. Because if Barack Obama steps off the curb on his way to get to his golf cart and gets hit by a large golf cart and runs him up, you're the president. So we want to know that you're going to be able to handle things. Well, if Joe Biden steps up to the helm station and actually steers this ship, I'm jumping off. I'm jumping off because the Village Idiot is not going to captain my ship. Paul, you had a golden opportunity to pin this moron on his back until he said mama. He is a complete blithering idiot. And that you allowed him to laugh you off that stage. I know you're young, much younger than I am. Not much younger, but younger. And you haven't been around the block. What I'm missing in you, Paul, is street. You have no street. You need to be weathered. You need to be street. You got to have some. I'm not saying that should be your predominant characteristic, but you don't have any, unfortunately. And that's probably a function of where you grew up and how you grew up. Well, I grew up in the ghetto. I was lucky enough to grow up in the ghetto. I was lucky enough to even have a roof over my head. But you need to get some street, Paul. And it looks like you're probably going to get elected if we get them out of office. Go spend 3 months somewhere overseas with the troops, get with a bunch of guys and gals that are street, and try to understand what I'm talking about. You need to get tough. I'm talking tough. Like I look at you and you know there is no joking around. With a look, Mr. Biden would have known that he was treading on very thin ice with me. Were I sitting in your seat that night, you'd let him step all over your very gracious and courteous behavior and very vice presidential in every way imaginable. I'm so proud to be an American with you. But I need you to be tough for me and for everyone else because they're not going to give me a shot. Okay? You would certainly be in my cabinet, but you would not be my pit bull. I got another guy for that. That's his skill set. Well, yours is not knockout punching. And guess what? That's what Joe Biden needed. Those pearly whites needed to be rattling around loose in his head because he was making a buffoon out of himself and the United States of America. Most importantly, he can make a fool out of himself all he likes in private. In public, in that position that he holds, he embarrassed us, the entire country. And you could have stopped him and you didn't. And that concerns me, Paul. Stay tuned.